Today, we're going to dive into a masterpiece by Saadat Hasan Manto called Toba Tek Singh. It's a story that was forged in this incredible historical chaos, and it leaves you asking a really profound question about what sanity even means. And that's the question right there. It's at the very heart of this story. It's a really provocative thought. And it doesn't just ask us to look past labels. No, it forces us to look at the world that creates those labels in the first place. So, to really get this story, we have to understand the world it came from. Because this isn't just about a few people. It's about the moment an entire subcontinent was basically ripped in two. Yeah, this timeline, it really sets a tragic stage. So, 1947, partition happens, and it just tears India apart. Then, only 3 years later, in 1950, these two new governments make a decision that is, well, almost unbelievable. And then in 1955, Manto writes this story that captures the complete absurdity of it all. I mean, this was the reality. It's absolutely absurd. The governments of India and Pakistan actually agreed to exchange the inmates of their mental asylums, all based on religion. It was just some bureaucratic decision that turned human beings who were already so vulnerable into what? Inventory to be shipped across a new line on a map? And here's what Manto does so brilliantly. He takes this huge national chaos and he bottles it up, containing it all within the four walls of a single institution. You see, the asylum isn't just some random location. It's this powerful metaphor. Before partition, it was a place where everyone, coexisted. The inmates might have had chaos inside their own minds, but their shared world was stable. It's the supposedly rational decision from the same people on the outside that unleashes the real madness inside. And right at the center of this world is one man. His search for a simple answer ends up revealing the deep, profound confusion of millions of people. So this is our guy, Bishan Singh. He's so connected to his roots that everyone just calls him by the name of his hometown, Toba Tek Singh. And he spends his days just standing there, waiting, muttering to himself, totally consumed by this one single burning question that nobody seems to have an answer for. And this question, you have to understand, it's not just about geography, it's about identity. For Bishan Singh, and for millions of people just like him, drawing a border didn't just split the land, it shattered their whole sense of self. He's asking, where's my home now? Am I even the person I thought I was? Okay, so now we get to the real genius of Manto's story. This complete flipping of the script on what it means to be sane when the world itself has gone insane. And right here, you can see Manto's whole argument play out. The inmates, the ones everyone has labeled mad, they're the only ones who actually get it. They understand the human tragedy of losing your home. Meanwhile, you have the sane politicians, so obsessed with drawing lines on a piece of paper that they're completely blind to the suffering they're causing. It really makes you ask, who's actually living in reality here? The whole story builds to this climax at the Wagah border, the very line that started all the chaos. Buses pull up, names are called out, and this exchange of human beings begins. When it's Bishan Singh's turn, this is what he screams. It's this jumble of Punjabi, Urdu, and English, and it sounds like nonsense, but it's not. It's the sound of a mind, of a language, of an entire identity completely fragmenting because of all this political madness. It is just a raw cry of pure anguish. And finally, an official tells him his home, Toba Tek Singh, is now in Pakistan. For Bishan, who is a Sikh, this is just an impossible reality. It doesn't compute. He refuses to be forced into India, but he won't set foot in this new Pakistan either. So he just stands his ground on this tiny patch of earth that belongs to no one. And there, in that no man's land, he collapses. And he dies. So you see how Manto weaves these powerful symbols together to tell a much bigger story. The asylum stands for a whole society that's been driven mad by outside forces. The town, Toba Tek Singh, becomes this idea of a home that is now lost, unreachable forever. And Bishan Singh's death, right there in no man's land, well, that's the devastating human price of a line drawn on a map. So why? Why does this short story, written all the way back in 1955, still resonate so powerfully with people all over the world today? Well, for one, Manto was an absolute master of satire. He used the seemingly absurd situation, swapping asylum inmates, to expose the fact that the real political decisions being made by people in power were even more absurd. It's a technique that just makes his critique that much more devastating. And the world has definitely recognized its power. I mean, the BBC included Toba Tek Singh in its prestigious list of 100 stories that shaped the world. Think about that. It's placed right alongside epics and classics from all of human history. And its influence, it doesn't stop there. The story has been constantly reimagined for the stage, in musicals, and in films, like that really powerful short film from 2018 starring the incredible Pankaj Kapoor. Every new adaptation just proves how timeless these themes really are. And when you boil it all down, this is the story's lasting legacy. It forces us to look past those easy labels of sane and insane, and instead to question the logic of a world that would tear itself apart over lines on a map. And that is the question Manto leaves us with. It's a question about borders, about identity, and about loss that feels just as urgent today as it did back in 1955. Because what Manto is really asking us to think about is a haunting possibility. What if the lines that define our world are the most insane things of all?